welcome to Chelsea's Entertainment Corner. Today we'll be interviewing Jon Laster, writer and comedian. Jon, you're from Denver, Colorado, and the black population makes up 11% in Denver. In a place where the black population is so small, how did you engage yourself as a young person within Denver? And would you say that your experience as a minority contributed to you becoming a comedian?
I think maybe being a minority contributed to me being a comedian because culturally, I think it's more of a thing, especially amongst young black men, to snap on each other. So that's kind of how it started. The evolution of comedy, you start snapping on each other in the streets, and then it kind of went to the locker room when I played ball, and then me not wanting to get up in the morning for a job because I'm lazy. I was like, you know what, why not make a run out of this? And that's how it became a comedian. So culturally, yeah, I would say because I'm a minority, it contributed. Because I don't think white dudes do that. They don't snap on each other the way black people do. It was called the dozens back in the days. I don't know what it was called in slavery, but it's us snapping on each other. It's kind of a black thing. So yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely, yeah.
You came to New York, and I'm sure with many goals and aspirations. Where do you see yourself this time next year, and how do you propose to get there?
I wouldn't say I came here with goals and aspirations. I didn't come with a lot of money. I came with a box. I had one box with all my stuff in it. I put it down at my sister's house, and I started crying because I knew I couldn't go back to Denver. I knew that I had that wasn't an option. But so year to year to year, it gets better. I'm pretty close. So next year, I see myself making films, living in Los Angeles. You know, and I've already started in that process. So I'm in the process of making 3 films right now. So next year, hopefully those films will be done and be coming out. So I'll be on a red carpet at different points in time next year with those films living in LA.
I've never seen or heard any of your shows because they're not family friendly. Do you think you'll ever become more prime time, and why do you choose to have a more edgy approach to comedy?
I think that my comedy reflects what's going on in my life, so it's been pretty edgy. But contrary to what people think, I think that probably 70% of my comedy is family friendly. Because I still do churches, I still do colleges that have to be completely clean, and the content has to be. But when I'm performing in the clubs, a lot of times it's, you could say whatever, which means there's probably 20% in there that might scare people away from it. But most of my comedy, to be honest, probably 70% of it, you could watch with anybody of any age. My nieces watch some of my jokes on TV, dying laughing. My sister let her watch it. My niece is 7. So most of my comedy is family. But I understand that there's some content in there that's probably not. Yeah.
I hear they use the N-word quite frequently in your material. I also read that your comedic influences was Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, who also used the N-word. Richard Pryor was 2 generations ago, Eddie Murphy was 1 generation ago, and now you're a star comedian on the rise. Why do you think we continue to find humor in the use of such a painful and racially charged word?
I think coming up, we found it as a term of endearment amongst me and my boys. So the debate now is that it's becoming racially charged because people are trying to, move the word out of vernacular, even amongst black people. When I hear the conversation about people saying, don't use the N-word, to me it's white people saying, since we can't say it, then you guys shouldn't be able to say it. You know what I mean? I feel like white people shouldn't want to say it, so why do you care the way we communicate with each other? We don't ask white people not to use certain words amongst themselves. So to me, it's really white people still exercising control and black people buying into it, what the white people are saying, once again, which is odd to me. What I choose to call my homies, why do you care? So it's interesting to me that black people are like, yeah, we shouldn't say the N-word. because white people can't say it. Whatever. I don't care what you call your homegirls. You know what I'm saying? If you walk up to your homegirls like, hey, B word, I'm not going to be like, hey, y'all shouldn't be able to call each other that because I can't call you that, right? I can't call you a B word. If you and your girls call each other that, why do I care? You know, that's white people saying, y'all shouldn't be able to call each other B words because I can't call you one. I'm calling niggas.
And
How about that?
lastly,
How about that? My niggas.
and lastly,
Yes.
if I may, talk to you a little bit about some personal challenges that you had. In the past, you struggled with addictions.
Yes.
Will you talk a little bit about the addictions and how you found strength and courage to overcome them?
Sure. I was, prior to going to rehab, I was hosting 4 different shows a week, weekly shows, which are open bar every night for me. So, and even on the nights that it wasn't open bar, like the place that we just came from, Rustic, if I went in there on an off night, I made so much money for them on the night that I was doing comedy there, they would never charge me for drinks. So it was free drinks around the city. 2 of the clubs that I was working in, the bartenders sold cocaine too. So it was a hamster wheel of drugs, women, and alcohol. You know, like pretty much 7 nights a week. My best friend was a strip club DJ. He was selling drugs. So it was everywhere. And eventually I got caught up. And if you keep mixing Bacardi and cocaine, eventually it becomes a depressant. So I got really depressed, ended up having to check myself into rehab. But once I got into rehab and I realized that it was actually the liquor that was the depressant. I wasn't depressed. It's a chemical depressant. You're drinking depression after a while once you cross a certain path. Then I realized that there was no way that I was going to accomplish my goals under the influence. And that's the most important thing to me to accomplish what I set out to. I didn't move here to become a failure and drink myself to death. So it was either the drugs or the career and the drinking. So I chose the career. I think that I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of good people around me, because without that, I definitely wouldn't have survived. I had a lot of good people. As soon as I said I needed help, it was like people came out of every direction. Like people came out of the woodwork, out of bathrooms, it was like thriller video. Like people was coming out of the grave, like I'll help you because you're damn sure need help. But once I said I needed help, I had a lot of good people, and I think that's what saved me and saved my career. Even though addiction is tough, because I'm still going into a bar every night, so you gotta be vigilant. But I found some ways to make that happen.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. This was awesome. Feeling presidential up in this joint, right? These Obama seats.
This is Chelsea's Entertainment Corner, and thank you for watching. Remember, your voice is your power. Never be